Well, good morning, folks. It's about 6:15. We just left Richardson Lake and getting ready to cruise on out. I'm still really astonished with the personal records being broken on this trip. It's kind of crazy. We did 25.7 miles yesterday, considering Dick's Pass was thrown in that mix. That was a long yet good day, which means we have, I believe, 22.3 miles back to Tahoe City, which is probably doable. So we're gonna see how that goes. We're just gonna keep cruising on the trail, showing you guys some of the sights along the way as we come across them, and yeah, we'll get we got one more climb up here. It's not terribly bad, and I'll kind of decide from there if we're gonna be able to make it or not. So before dark, I'd like to get out before dark. If not, I'd kind of assume just head out first thing in the morning. But we'll kind of see how the day plays out, see what the trail says we can do today. So all right, y'all, we'll catch up with you after a while. Yeah, sorry to cut off real quick there. We were trying to get out of those crazy skeeters and get moving. It was actually, this is the first morning, it was actually pretty chilly down by the lake there. Got a little bit of condensation on the tent. Might have to dry that out a little later maybe. We'll see how things go. But yeah, right now we're just walking through the jungle again. And apparently this is one of the areas where there have been multiple bear sightings, so we might get lucky and get a little shot of Smokey, or maybe Yogi the bear or something, maybe Boo Boo. Who knows? We'll see if we can find them. Be about one of the only critters we haven't seen yet. A lot of them are just so quick I don't get to capture them on camera, because by the time I get my camera out, they've noticed us and they move on. But I'll do my best. All right, we're gonna keep on cruising. Oop. Wind blown. Lots of wind blown on this section of trail. And the end of the day yesterday. Been really cool being out here during the peak wildflower season too. It's been amazing. I've been trying to capture as much of it as I could for y'all. There's a ton though. It's been beautiful. But we're still cruising.
1 hour later.
Well, we just hit Barker Pass. It is 9:05. And let's see what we got over here on the old mileage. So Richardson Lake, that we just left at 6 o'clock this morning, is 7 miles. So 3 hours and we blasted out 7 miles. Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all, if I do say so myself. We got some restrooms and stuff here. We're gonna take a quick little break and kind of get our bearings and see how long it looks like it's gonna take for us to finish out.
A few moments later.
All right, well, break time's over. Leaving Barker Pass. Ward Creek will be the next stop up here after a bit. And then Tahoe City. You just saw the sign there. It says 16 miles. Far out says 16.2, but at this point, who's arguing? We're just gonna keep cruising on down this here trail and come to the realization that we are going back to civil life. We're going back to civilization. On our way. Here we go. Back on trail after filtering some of that nice water from down in there. It looks like we get another little sneaky peek of Lake Tahoe. All right, hitting the last pool, coming up over Twin Peaks. We're just about ready to crest this thing, and it is not to be underestimated. And we just crested the final peak of Twin Peaks. As they say, folks, it's all downhill from here.
Later.
And we're now in Granite Chief Wilderness. Well, split off there down towards Ward Creek. That's where we officially have left the PCT. The TRT and PCT no longer run together. Tahoe City bound. Well, we're coming to an end. This is the end. My only friend, the end. I have to say this journey has been spectacular. Everything I expected and more. Just an absolute wonderful time getting out here. I spend a lot of time alone in the woods anyway, but it was very surreal, very exciting, happy. I mean, all the feels all in one. And meeting some new folks and making a new friend that enjoys this kind of stuff and putting some strain and some suffering on himself and striving forward and beating those mental and physical limitations away with a stick has been very, very fulfilling. I can't wait to get home though, and well, not even get home. The missus is picking me up, so can't wait to get back though. Get some good meals in, get a proper shower and a proper soak and a bathtub with some Epsom salts and kind of relive all this as I go through this footage and put together some scenes and some episodes for you all to see how the journey was, and hopefully do it in a fine enough fashion that you feel like you were able to be here with me. But yeah, I'm gonna keep cruising down here to Ward's Creek and see what we do from there, if we have our last meal on trail or if we just push on and finish this thing out. So those are just kind of my thoughts at the moment. I'm sure some more will pop in as I go, and I'll try to articulate them to you all as best I can. But what an awesome adventure, and thank you for those that have been following along, those that may see this and choose to start following along, and those in the future that will see this footage. Thank you for watching. Thank you for coming along. We'll catch up with y'all in a bit. All right, cruise on. There's a look back at Twin Peaks that we just descended. And that's kind of looking out into Granite Chief Wilderness area. And back on to the TRT. Well, we're on the home stretch. Just crossed Ward Creek Road there. We got 5 more miles to go. 5 more. And of course it's got to go uphill first. One last mental challenge. But yeah, we got a little reprieve over there, got some water, got a little fuel, and Stealth's family, his wife and son, Let's see. Yeah, you might be able to see him kind of coming up back there. They met up with him to walk the last 5 miles with him. I think that's pretty cool. That's a good solid family right there. But yeah, I'm gonna keep huffing and puffing up this thing and cruising on, and we'll get back at you when we're about ready to close this circle. All right, y'all. Cruise on. There's the Truckee River. I'm gonna wash up a little bit before I get all the way back real quick.
A few moments later.
Well, the final walk back in town, back on asphalt, and it doesn't feel good after being on trail for 173 plus miles. Hurts the feet. They're not used to being this flat. And we just saw that bear back there. That was pretty cool. Getting some grubs out of that old rotten tree. I told everybody you see bears in Tahoe more in town than you do out on the trail. That's just the way it works out here.
A few moments later.
Full circle. Trip's over. I did it. I made it. Feels good. Feels really good. Now it's time to get these damn shoes off. My greeting party.
1 hour later.
Post TRT hike grub over here at Fat Cat Grill in Tahoe City. Good stuff. Poke Tower and Thai chili tacos. Absolutely awesome. But I'm gonna dig in. Starving.